Who's ready for some SmackDown? Let's get it. For the opening start of the show, yeah, a tournament, two disappointing tournament matches because of course they're cool. They would do it because heel and babyface. It's so black and white. You don't know who's gonna make it to the tournament. Thanks, Elias, that wasn't even competing tonight. Already did a promo just for Kevin Owens to attack him, just for him to get his comeuppance. And thanks, he's still feuding with Shane. The only person that has connections with Shane is literally Elias. And for the opening start of the show, it was Kofi Kingston doing his generic babyface promo over him attacking his brothers and talking about his family. It was like the most boring crap we get. Is that the only thing Kofi Kingston was about? Randy Orton over a longer stint than AJ Styles. And AJ Styles and Randy Orton only fought at WrestleMania because it was their first time wrestling, and they didn't have much of anything except insulting AJ Styles' overall career and Randy Orton's overall career. At least they made it personal. Randy Orton only taunted his family. He didn't try to go super personal like that Samoa Joe and AJ Styles feud the year prior. And then we just have the best moment of the show off an elevated DDT on a table backstage near the entranceway. And then it came up to Biggie Langston being interviewed later by Kayla, telling what happened, him noticing that this is personal. And he was legit angry. He was legit angry. He seemed threatening, and he almost beaten Randy Orton. It didn't come into interruption of Kofi Kingston or anything else. Trying to think, you're not going to make Randy Orton lose to a Biggie Langston. That's why the Revival came up earlier that night for a distraction. Got some huge power lifts out the way off of Biggie. I think they suplexed him on a conference table. An interruption by the Revival and an RKO hit right on Biggie Langston for the 1-2-3. That was their match. And it just ended by a rip-off 3D. All of this still doesn't confirm me that Kofi Kingston is a legit WWE champion, because the majority of his run was not centered by the fans supporting him. It was centered by his only three-man unit supporting him and get him the connections he needed. Who fought the gauntlet match so he can get a title shot? Who convinced Vince McMahon for Kofi even to show up on the pay-per-view just to have a handicap match out of nowhere, and then have a match at WrestleMania? I'm shocked that they're not trying to do a heel turn so they can literally just give Kofi Kingston someone legit to fight, and where we have a convincing way of doing it other than Kofi Kingston literally just having this feud all because of the running meme of Randy Orton calling Kofi stupid because of a fucked up spot that happened 10 years ago. Listen, this isn't me ragging on Kofi Kingston. I have a t-shirt. I have toys. I have posters of Kofi Kingston, bro. I love Kofi Kingston. I'm a fun wrestler, but somebody that could hold the Intercontinental Championship. If his career was elevated or he had a character that can evolve him from holding, like he's like a 5-time Intercontinental Champion, I would have no complaints. I would think maybe give Kofi Kingston a spot. Now he's in a faction that's pure-blooded PG with no sense of evolution or something. If they made this like a fake preacher gimmick and you gave Kofi the world champion, but he was a leader of the preacher group, I would have nothing to do, but they're not heel anymore. If this was 2015 and Kofi was the alleged leader, there would be no problem. Except a bit of his wrestling maneuver still looks like it belongs in the mid-card, and yet we still give him the world title. But it was segments. All it showed was Biggie Langston and Xavier Woods are obviously the more exciting guys to watch. Thanks Kofi Kingston, since 2008 to 2019, still wrestles like a mid-carder. Then Then at the main event after that match, we had Roman Reigns revealing the truth about Daniel Bryan tossing the stage beams on his dome, literally when he was coming up for the interview. And then, I don't think we got the guy who ran over Roman Reigns. So who is that guy who literally was revealed, and he didn't even make a promo? All they did was Daniel Bryan trying to issue an apology until Roman Reigns just got the video on him, and Daniel Bryan just saying that we hate liars. I thought this was going to expand the entire locker room so we can have everybody involved. The only person Roman Reigns interrogated over the past 5 weeks of his entire storyline, I think, that was Buddy Murphy, Daniel Bryan, and Eric Rowan, when there's like at least 30 men in the roster. You see why this is irritating to get. And I'm not going to rag on them, but that's it. I'm totally irritated of this entire feud just for Daniel Bryan to get fucking speared. Who's going to waste money for that? And then we have, of course, tournament matches. The first round, the second to last matches to the first round was Ali facing off against Buddy Murphy. And they did it, the Ali to win, because obviously they want to push a further babyface that had these stupid, fake, inspirational Instagram promos all over SmackDown for the last couple of weeks, but only competed twice in a month. It was on SummerSlam. But he beat Nakamura, and then he beats Buddy Murphy in the first round. And Nakamura doesn't even want to redeem himself. He's just now associated with Sami Zayn. Out of no hardship, the only logical explanation was their takeover match they had 3 years ago. And I liked that match, but they didn't go on a further on feud. Like, Sami Zayn was going to the main roster either way. That was just ridiculous to me. Why they're even friends to begin with, because Nakamura's heel, Sami Zayn's heel. I don't know where the fuck Rusev is, so we can't continue with that little shtick, why they were even associated with each other. Even though he was feuding, and Rusev had a legit reason. I went for this for the last couple of years, because I like Rusev. I want him to succeed in the business. And he comes out here having a personal feud as Nakamura literally hurting his own fucking wife. And it was for the United States Championship. And now we have Nakamura holding the Intercontinental title, and now he feels like a fucking bodyguard to Sami Zayn. How the fuck does this work for some guy that's supposed to be somewhat charismatic and a guy that can't even speak a lick of English? How does that work? And now we have the Ali and Buddy Murphy match. It was alright. It was a pretty fun match. It was a good match. Fast-paced. Good bicycleness, like always, from Buddy Murphy. I think there was a great spin-out Hurricane Run from the top from Ali. Tornado DDT while in between the ropes was Buddy Murphy. He got hit, and he got hit with a 450 splash. And Ali won. Even though I wanted Buddy Murphy to win, because you made him face off against two former world champions, and yet he can't beat Ali. They weren't even cheating. Buddy Murphy was technically neutral. He was accused, but he's also he was a witness. But fuck, I think he's a neutral guy, and we just want a babyface to win. And plus, these guys do that Ring of Honor shtick, even though Buddy Murphy shown to be the cocky, arrogant cruiserweight that pinned Daniel Bryan. So, and Daniel Bryan's supposed to be a major heel on SmackDown. So, Ali just having very little momentum just pins Buddy Murphy like that after he had two big matches against the top stars on SmackDown. Live. That obviously does well for Buddy Murphy. This was a good match, but fuck me. Then we had Miz calling out Sami Zayn, already complaining about this already with Sami Zayn coming out. Shinsuke Nakamura coming out of nowhere from behind and beating the shit out of him. Hitting him with running knees and Sami Zayn with these hilarious expressions and reactions. But other than that, there's no legit reason for Miz to feud other than we know Miz peaked back in 2011. We all know that, right? Involving The Rock, John Morrison, R-Truth, John Cena, main eventing Mania, and literally being the top heel in the company. That was all Miz. That's where he peaked in the main event scene. And now he's here at fucking 2019. And guess who he's feuding around? His life literally revolves around the Intercontinental title. And he better win that fucking thing back. Because I listened to 27 opening Miz promos than watching Shinsuke Nakamura waste my time. I swear. This wasn't like so much of a fucking interesting heel thing. All because they're heels doesn't mean they should be best friends. Like, how in the hell is this supposed to work? I don't mind. Wait, I have friends of mine that have been thinking for years, and I think it's a brilliant idea. Make Nakamura the silent type. Let him learn let him learn the English language more fluently over time, so he can get more of a grasp, and maybe he can get more of a reaction from the fans. Give him a translator or a wrestler that might associate him. It doesn't have to be Asuka, Kairi Sane, Japanese women from the roster. It can literally just be a professional English translator. We have a fucking French Canadian wrestler fucking with him and thinking he's gonna translate with him when he's just giving him Kinshasa knees all over the fucking ring. That's not cool. That's not badass. That's Sami Zayn acting like a fucking dork and Shinsuke Nakamura acting like a random gun even though he's an Intercontinental champion. None of these guys are even in the tournament. You make these guys have these big feuds and you don't put them in the tournament. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin were in the first round, the King of the Ring. 2001 WWF was smarter than the King of the Ring booking than this shit. Huh. That was Edge that won the 2001 King of the Ring. Guess the career he got. Wade Barrett won the 2015 King of the Ring. And nobody even knows where the fuck he's at except limbo somewhere directing a cool-ass getting into a cool-ass movie. Then we had Bayley face off against Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans, there was a random promo with her before, with her like interrupting the conversation Ember Moon and Lacey and Bayley were having over. Is Charlotte trying to get in your head? Really? Is that how it is, bitch? No, bitch, I ain't gonna get in your head. You're talking like you guys are cool. I get that you're NXT bitches and you want to stay cool, you want to keep it professional, even because you guys are good guys. But where's the individuality in this? Nobody has their own individuality because they're good guys. That's supposed to mean they're cool. We had Ember Moon just be chosen by the SmackDown Women's Champion, all because she didn't want to face Charlotte again at SummerSlam for rinse and repeat matches. And we know Charlotte's going to win it back in the end of the year, so it's not going to matter to me. But Ember Moon has no reason to be here. Lacey Evans, for the previous 2 months, like a few months before, she was feuding with Becky Lynch in a mixed tag and one match that you both lost. Why the fuck is she on SmackDown and then you get squashed by Bayley? The match wasn't even that good. It was forearms and working on the arm. Bayley still won by an elbow drop. And you're telling me that's something to be proud of? Charlotte was there in the match. Obviously, they're trying to hit a program with her as well. And I don't know what they're going to do come Clash of Champions. But by God, if I'm going to see another match that's just going to just be NXT filtered storylines. Listen, I don't have a lot of things against NXT. I disagree that they should be on USA, and I disagree that they should be at least 2 hours. 1 hour minimum on a decent cable channel should be enough to draw viewership on cable. If you want to do it 2 hours, you guys got to do something big. You guys got to get bigger stars, like at least minuscule skulls, like demote some guys from your main roster. Bring back the Ascension, guys that were like numerous NXT talents that couldn't hack it in the main roster. Do something like that. Make bigger storylines if you guys want to be like a C equivalent show. That's literally what you guys are doing. NXT's being the equivalent of WWE CW, except very little extreme at times. The only positives NXT has, in my opinion, is more fascinating wrestling styles and war games. That's literally what I want to get up and see. I don't care about NXT Brooklyn, Takeover Brooklyn that much. I don't care about their rinse and repeat takeover events. That's literally where the major pay-per-view events are going to be at. It's just not my thing. No disrespect. I love NXT, but there's some stuff that's really rinse and repeat for me. And it's only at times where some wrestlers come out and shine, like Io Shirai or Shayna Baszler or Velveteen Dream or Adam Cole or sometimes the Street Profits. I'm not. I don't feel like this is the smartest way, especially when you still got like content like NXT UK, and I think got canceled to fucking 205 Live, so that's a given. And I think they're only doing that for like reasons of bringing the cruiserweights to NXT. And we have Drake Maverick uh, pinning Elias after R-Truth failed to attempt a pin after he got knocked out. With Elias suffering from a stunner after he was taunting that he will win the King of the Ring and defeat uh, Ali in the second round. He comes around getting assaulted by Kevin Owens. This is coming from earlier after Kevin Owens had a promo with him. It was a weak, corny, childish promo. I don't want to try to rehash it or some shit like that. Literally, Shane here. Yeah, Shane here. Fucking what? All he did was just attack him just for Kevin Owens to have this corny. We know he plays heel way better than he plays face. It's weird. I'd rather see Rollins as heel. I'd rather see Kevin Owens as heel. I'd rather see Lashley as heel. McIntyre is a killer as a heel. And they don't make these characters stick that much whenever they just randomly change them face. At all. It's weird. So Drake Maverick won. And this is kind of weirding me out. Do you people ever seen Maria Kanellis or Mike Kanellis? Do you remember that little thing they were having with Mike Kanellis being very little of a man and him trying to win his wife's respect? Nothing happened after that. That completely fought away after she got pinned by R-Truth. So, they don't want to do anything interesting. They don't want to bring TV time to something potentially entertaining for a televised program. That's fake fighting, by the way. Fake fighting. You don't have to treat this like a legit sport all because you have the King of the Ring tournament. And then we had Chad Gable defeating Shelton Benjamin in a pretty good match. It was entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. It was a decent holds, a good bicycle knee straight from Shelton Benjamin. It came from a roll-up victory because I don't know what's Chad Gable's finisher, and I don't think they don't know either, or Chad Gable. Obviously, we're trying to push like the most overly simplistic underdog tool, even though these guys used to be a tag team like a year ago. So, after that, Shelton Benjamin just gets pinned. That's most of SmackDown. It gets a 5 out of 10 at least. It had 2 entertaining matches. I didn't mind Randy Orton's spot with the DDT from the table was cool. Biggie Langston's match with Randy Orton was alright. But by God, that doesn't mean the show was perfect. It gets a 5 out of 10 for a reason. I thought that the storylines were super bland. They left so much stuff out. They came from an exciting thing as seeing who Roman Reigns' attacker might be into literally just some dude with a beard, and we don't even know who the fucking guy is. Then none of that is explained. But Daniel Bryan wants an apology, and he doesn't even get into more detail. Why would you bring this guy out here? That awkward ass segment in the last segment on SmackDown a week ago was completely fucking pointless, and I'm completely agitated. Tournament matches were alright, but I thought it'd be better if like they put like more veteran guys to be pushed up in the tournament. Chad Gable's obviously a 205 Live guy. He's barely there in the title picture, and he barely has much of a gimmick other than he had his notepad with him for a bit and did absolutely fucking nothing. And then we had fucking Elias losing the 24/7 championship, even though it would be fun if he held a bit longer and he had more creative ways of winning it back. They showed a bit of the NFL, the college football team, and one of the reporters winning the belt and immediately getting pinned back by Elias. That was fun. It was cool. And thanks, it's football season soon. I mean, it's football season's coming back, man. I'm super blessed. It was fun. It was fun, at least. And Nakamura can go die in a fire. Lacey Evans came back for no reason just to get pinned after she was in the title picture like a few months ago. And most of SmackDown just completely meh to me. I did not like it. It wasn't forgettable SmackDown. Every SmackDown's forgettable SmackDown. What are you talking about? But thank you for watching. Thanks for as always, subscribe. Subscribe down below if you want to watch this stuff come out my mouth. Thank you for watching.